Well, there are fast-moving developments in the ongoing upheaval at OpenAI. This is the firm that runs the popular ChatGPT platform. More than 500 employees of the artificial intelligence company are now threatening to resign after the stunning leadership changes that have taken place there over the past few days. Now, let me get this straight for you. It all began on Friday when the OpenAI board fired the CEO, Sam Altman, without giving a clear explanation why. Microsoft, which has invested billions in the company, tried to get Altman reinstated over the weekend. But when talks hit an impasse, Microsoft announced that it was hiring Altman instead. Well, now OpenAI staffers are demanding that Altman get hired back and that the board members that ousted him resign. Well, their letter to the board says in part, and I quote here, "Your actions have made it obvious that you are incapable of overseeing OpenAI. We are unable to work with, for, or with people that lack competence, judgment, and care for our mission and employees." Wow. That is quite something. Joining me now, Eric Xing, the president of the Mohammed bin Zayed University of AI here in Abu Dhabi. This is the world's first artificial intelligence postgraduate research university, and a fantastic resource for us. We of course, are programmed here in our programming hub out of Abu Dhabi, and I lean into Eric regularly when we have a big AI story, and this is a big AI story. It doesn't get... Let's have this conversation, Eric, much bigger than Sam Altman when you're talking about AI. What do you make of what's going on here?
Well, the past 48 hours has been a roller coaster ride for the entire AI community. We've never seen something that big. I think overall it is a big blow to the community because it will change the cadence and also the directions of AI development.
How?
Because look, maybe what I'm going to say will be making some of my colleagues unhappy, but along the pathway, of artificial general intelligence, artificial superintelligence, OpenAI is clearly the front runner. And it is having more mature, more complete, and more advanced products and also potentially technology within the company. When anything happens to the company, when it's in turmoil, the outcome is paramount because you can see already, there is a landscape kind of earthquake, on people moving out or into different directions. And also there are different parties playing along the ideological front of safety and other things.
Now, that's what I wanted to bring up, because there is a real sort of fissure, isn't there, in the world of AI between those who say, careful where we're headed, because, and these are what you might call the doom mongers, and those are incredibly optimistic and see this as, on the whole, good for society, good for you and me, and we should be sort of, accelerating down the route. You're telling us that what's going on at OpenAI under Sam Altman certainly was, an incredibly exciting time. Sam Altman himself, despite the fact that he is warned that things are going perhaps too quickly. He is an optimist, correct?
Yes, I think so.
You think, therefore, the doom mongers are winning out here?
Well, at least this is a one showdown moment between the two camps. And it is hard to tell which side is winning because it is a developing story, right? So we, for example, see already Microsoft CEO Satya is making a master move, in getting Sam into the Microsoft ecosystem.
What does that mean for Microsoft? Where does AI fit into the sort of Microsoft, I want to call it 2.0, let's call it 3.0
Well, Microsoft
world?
as a for-profit company does, want to make sure that their interest is protected in the business world. Therefore, ChatGPT as a product is definitely very important, for Microsoft to have a saying. And now, with their stake in OpenAI and also with their better control over Sam, they actually get almost everything I can imagine from OpenAI in terms of the methodology, the model weights, the data, and also the people.
500 of the 700 staff in their letter...
Not sure they're going to join Microsoft or not. Because I know that many other tech companies are hunting for these people
But
now.
they've certainly suggested that most of them have been offered an opportunity at Microsoft should they want to go. You used the term just earlier on there. Microsoft is determined to commercialize its AI opportunity. And herein lies the issue, doesn't it? You know, I think many people left at OpenAI are saying, is this a company that's really prepared to commercialize, you know, this AI technology? This is a $100 billion organization, which is ultimately not for profit. Right? How does that all stack up? Is that been its problem, OpenAI, from the outset?
Yeah, I think OpenAI is really into charting into unknown territory in terms of its operation. It has
it's got to make money.
It has a non-profit aspect, which wants to build advanced technology to serve humanity in their charter. But then they need to feed themselves, and also they need to get resource, to propel the development. Therefore, commercialization is definitely, one of the, necessity for that.
How important, and I'm coming back to Microsoft here, because I think it's really fascinating to consider where Microsoft is in the much broader world than many of our viewers might have considered about what is happening up in the cloud and the kind of its investment in architecture going forward to the extent that it is looking to compete and perhaps already successfully so with the Huawei's of this world. Is this a company that, I mean, I'm not asking you to be a betting man here, but if you were a betting man, do you see Microsoft as running in the right direction as a behemoth organization going forward and one with real opportunity through its AI investment?
Yeah, it depends on where you sit yourself, right? From a business perspective, I cannot imagine a better move than what Microsoft is doing now, because it is really taking the best advantage of the situation to get as much as possible a hold, a control of the best people and the best team and the best product. Although it doesn't mean that the AI research and the development as a whole is necessarily the winner, because I think AI is such a complex and developing technology that requires a bigger community to be contributor. When you have a high concentration, of resource and brain power in one location, obviously it is going to benefit fewer people, depending on how you administrate it. And also there is additional nuances in terms of governance and safety regulations and so on.
Eric, we're going to have you back. It's always a pleasure to have you on. As I say, I lean into to this moment when I need some questions answered, some really important questions answered on the world of AI. It's terrific having you back in. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Joining us. I'll be back with more news after this.